Welcome back. Still talking the NBA. Well, talking about now, let's talk about LeBron James, right? He just have a way of playing and resting. 29 points, 11 assists to main. Spent some final 7 minutes on the bench, and it was actually dancing. I mean, you know, playing.
The job was
resting,
done.
The job was done
having
from the third
fun
quarter, so
and
you didn't
everything.
have to play. I mean, it's key to note here that LeBron is leading all players in the playoffs in minutes played, averaging over 41 minutes per game, showing how bad the Cavs have been for most parts of the postseason. But the fact that at the age of 33, it doesn't look like he's going to get tired any soon. The team has really, he's put the team on his back and he's been able to deliver the goods. But then against the Raptors, it did not need to expend so much energy. And so for the first time in a long time, LeBron started out for about 7.5 minutes in the final quarter because the job was already done. For the Raptors, I've always maintained it's all in their minds, right?
Do you feel for them?
I do not feel for them.
First on the regular season, and
after, I mean, yeah, the regular season is a lot different from the postseason. Why? Teams experiment. It should. Well, they were good because the Cavs had a problem in the regular season, right? But then it's the playoffs. LeBron has gone to 7 straight NBA finals. He's going to make it 8. He wants to make it 8 in a row. He's the best player in the world, and it's not even close. So he has a point to prove. So for the Raptors, I mean, they were coming into the series thinking, yeah, we locked down the #1 seed in the Eastern Conference, where we have the best bench in the league. But anytime you're coming up against LeBron James, I've always said there is no one individual on planet Earth that can guard him one-on-one. And so that brings a lot of matchup problems to you on the floor. And then Coach Dwayne Casey has decisions to make. Do you double team him? Do you understand? Who do you even put on him as the primary matchup? They put the young man, OG Anunoby, the Nigerian-born British player, on him. And I felt that was a bit too much for the guy. Is still a rookie. When you have guys like Serge Ibaka, who's known for his good defense on the floor, having to guard guys like, you know, Kevin Love. I thought LeBron James was the key player in this series. You should have put your best defender
to lock him
down. At least make him work hard for his shots. LeBron was just feasting on anything they put on him. And then the Raptors also, they couldn't make good decisions. I mean, in game 3, for example, Kevin Love was on fire. And then he got mismatched in the post. Kevin Love was being guarded by guys like Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan. That's a recipe for disaster. Switches were not made, and I thought, you know, they have themselves to blame. And then you're going into a game where you know you have to win, game 4, to avoid a sweep. And then you put Jonas Valanciunas on the bench, opted to go small. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? With Valanciunas on the floor, LeBron is still feasting in the paint. Now you took him off. That was just not going to work. I'm not a coach, but I just think there are basic things you know will not work out when you see them happen.
Well, it just didn't work right now. It's a clean sweep. You hear me? Sorry, you're eating your words right now.
Yeah, I'll be quiet. No problem.
We have more, right? More to come. I can't wait to glaze for tomorrow. Okay, opportunity to talk about the Kwese Basketball League now. Talking about the top flight basketball in Nigeria, Savannah Conference and the Atlantic Conference started at the weekend. And you have some good games that went down. Gombe Bulls and Bauchi to 72-65. And the Niger Porters and Plateau Pigs, well, actually haven't played, but then that's what the conference is. Look, okay, 81-69. Then you have a Civil Defense 68-83 against Kano Pillars. Then Atlantic Conference, where you have the Coral Falcons and the Oluyole Warriors 83-60. Wow, that's a good one. Delta Force and Anambra Force 74-69, a bit close. Customs and Police Baton 71-62, Able Comment 60, and Hoops and Reed it was 70. I love those two Able Comment. Ayobakari from a team,
right?
And Hoops and Reed.
That's his team.
That's his team. Yes. Still his team, right?
It was on the bench.
On the bench there.
Pulling the strings, unfortunately.
But somehow
match up with the Hoops and Reed experience of Hoops and Reed. Yeah, absolutely.
Hoops and Reed last season, they were not that experienced. Where they just we have too many rookies.
They pushed the very big teams. They lost to Gombe Bulls in the semi-finals, right? And it was a last-second shot by, I believe it was Timothy Kwao, who now plays for Kano Pillars, and he dumped them out, you know. So they've gone back to the drawing board. And there's been a lot of player movements in the league this year. So the Kano Pillars, who won the league last year, are not necessarily the same, but they've kept the core of the guys. Guys like Undabu, Abaka, Usman, you know, Azoma, DK. But then they've added some youth. Okay, they've added guys like David Godwin from Kwara Falcons. He now plays for Kano Pillars, and they added experience too. Stanley Gumut, the ageless one, now plays for Kano Pillars, and you begin to wonder, who is going to beat these guys again? You know, so it's very interesting. They won their first game, and guys like Undabu did not even play more than 15 minutes in the game
because
they didn't have to, because a good bench. They outclassed their opponents. They have a solid bench. The team is well oiled. Another thing we could look out for will be Niger Potters. They also kept their core. Sabo Gabriel, you know, Umaru Madiu is still there, and this exciting kid, I love watching him play. Gideon Omokudu. They've kept the core together. So. Hoops and Reed, like you mentioned, we lost some players. Emila Gwabolaji played and scored 22 points for Ebon Comets against his former team. You know, Mustafa Oyebanji, one guy who did wonders for them off the bench last season. He's also moved on right now. So lots of player movements all around the league, and it just sets it up. And I think the teams are a lot closer this year than they've probably ever been.
Okay, that's a good one. Hoops and Reed, wishing them all the best, because last season it was heartbreak for them the way they were dumped out.
Supporting them?
No, not really. I mean, you know, when I saw when I watched their game, I saw the call of their players, young players. You know, I was really happy. Some of them from Unilag and all that. Boys that we know. You know, I was really, you know, so and they played very well and all that. So that's actually the reason. I didn't have it. Okay. You know where my heart is anyway. So okay.
Point noted. Point noted. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
I think we should move on now, and let's